Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are taking a look at a very cool figure. You can see this is one of the best packagings that I think I've ever seen on a Dragon Ball figure. Today we are taking a look at the Creator X Creator OOZARU Vegeta, or I guess I should say the OOZARU Vegeta. Not exactly sure why it's spelled like that, but wow, this packaging is incredible. Look at that blood moon on the top there. That is super cool, if I do say so myself. I also want to share with you real quick, while we're here on the back of the box, this figure does have a alternate color version. We are taking a look at the A color version today, which I honestly prefer, especially seeing some of the official images for the other color version. Not really a fan. I'm not exactly sure what they were going for with it, but regardless, this figure does have two versions. And something interesting that I noticed about this box while just kind of, setting it down for the video here is that there is this QR code thing that seems like it's some sort of AR thing that you can do with this figure. I'm not exactly sure how this works. I will have to do this off camera, and then if it actually does anything, I'll include it in the video. And if it doesn't do anything, then I just won't include it in the video. But I'm hoping it does something, because that would be really cool. But yeah, this figure is actually a re-release of a older figure. The original Creator X Creator OOZARU Vegeta was released back in 2017, and then in 2020 this figure ended up getting a re-release, which is pretty cool because obviously that's the beautiful thing about some of these figures getting a re-release, is that a lot of these older figures that normally collectors now would not be able to quite get their hands on are able to because of re-releases like these. This is so hard to get open, by the way. Like the paper, I don't want to rip the box because the box is literally so nice. Let me see if I can't cut the bottom. I guess I wouldn't be as mindful about ruining the bottom. There we go. The bottom came off a lot easier than the top did. I don't know why, but there we go. We have the figure now open. And camera, I'm going to need you to focus on the task at hand here. This, not the background, my boy. What are you doing? There we go. I don't know why my camera was being so finicky with the focus there. But we just went through the bottom. I did not want to ruin this box. Kind of unfortunate that I ended up cutting the tape at the top, because I would have just kept it sealed if I would have known that I was just going to have to open the bottom. But oh well, it be like that sometimes. But yeah, the promotional stuff that they did for this figure is really cool. I definitely love the artwork, and I guess you would call it artwork. I suppose it's not really artwork, but it definitely is an art for sure, taking pictures like that with that blood moon in the back. It's really cool. Alright, so yeah, this Vegeta is a very interesting case because not only is this guy pretty tiny, and most of the creator line is pretty tiny, right? I mean, I guess it technically should be pronounced creator since Hunter Hunter is pronounced Hunter Hunter, right? I guess Creator X Creator would be pronounced the same way. But this is quite literally the only figure that I know of that seems to be, and I don't know if it's technically supposed to be like that. By the way, here's his tail. Very interesting that the peg is white. Very interesting. This guy seems to be like a halfway through transformation OOZARU Vegeta. I don't know if that's like actually what he's supposed to be. Like if it was just sculpted as OOZARU Vegeta and then it just kind of like turned out that, at least to my eyes, it looks like that. But certainly the figure looks like that's what it's supposed to be to me. I can't really find any specific info. There's also no hole on the main one. That's kind of interesting. I couldn't really find any specific information about that sort of thing. If any of you in the comments know any information, please feel free. Does he stand on his own, by the way? Sick. Feel free to definitely share with me down there because I would love to know. But yeah, as far as I know, this is just supposed to be OOZARU Vegeta, and he kind of just looks like he's almost like mid-transformation. Maybe it's just because they made his snout so big, because his snout in this figure is huge. Like, they made it unnecessarily big. Like, I don't really mind it. I like how the figure looks. Of course, I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. But it's kind of funny that they just made his snout so big. Alright. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. So, interestingly enough, we have to put the boy together. But from what we have here, wow. This is a really nice looking figure. if I do say so myself. This is a really cool looking figure. I love the sculpt on this. Again, like I said, the snout is really long. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Also, I'm not sure what's going on here with these sideburns, the like hair on the side there, like the little drawn lines. I don't know what that's supposed to be. He's kind of got the Elvis Presley bangs going on there. I'm not too sure, but the detail on the armor is immaculate. Look at the little battle damages and scratches and stuff like that. Funny enough, I actually think that maybe that crack might just be a defect on the figure, but I guess because it looks like battle damage, it kind of blends in, which is good. The broken part of his armor looks fantastic. The damage on the other armor piece looks really good. Look at the detail on his pants as well. It looks like that super stretchy Saiyan armor material, which is cool. And it actually looks like that his pants are over the actual skin of the figure, or I guess in this case the fur, right? His boots as well look absolutely fantastic too. I think they nailed it with the sculpt of this guy. It's interesting as well that his arms come in separate pieces, but his arms look great as well. I love the tattered look of the edges of the gloves. I think that is really, really cool. All right, so how does this go on? How does this fit in here? Oh, okay, so it does actually have a shape for how it's supposed to go in. Let me see if I can fit that in there. Yeah, no, that just fits in there very nicely. We have the other arm too, by the way, which is like basically the same, right? Same type of sculpt and deal going on. Interesting. They do have two different shapes for this. I'm assuming that is so that you don't get confused and then, like, you know, accidentally shove the wrong arm in the wrong hole for the figure. But this is not really going in that well. The other hole is a lot more straightforward. This is literally like just one notch, whereas the other one was a lot more defined. There we go. Okay. Nice. Alright, so the only thing that we have left then is the tail, which looks like it also has a little notch as well. I think it should just go in like this. Yeah, that looks to be correct. Putting that in as hard as I can. Nice! That looks fantastic on him. Unfortunately, you can see the copyright information there, but I'm thinking that you're probably going to be looking at the figure like this anyway. Alright, so he does stand on his own. He is a little bit back heavy, but we do get a very tiny included stand here. I'm not sure if this probably goes... Oh. I was thinking it went on the other foot, but I accidentally just slipped it on there and it kind of just went on. So yeah, I guess that works. I guess that also kind of makes sense that it would be like the back foot that this figure would have the stand on. Wow! This is a super cool looking figure. My only complaint with this guy, honestly, is that I wish he was bigger. He is a very, very tiny figure. I'm sure you can kind of see by the scale. Obviously, you'll see when we compare him to some other figures in a second as well. You can see, though, by my hand that I can pretty much manhandle this guy and, you know, not have any trouble with him. So let's go ahead and move on to the size comparisons. Alright, so for our normal contenders, we have the Ichiban Kuji Gotenks and the Super Saiyan Blue WCF Goku. And, wow. Vegeta's small, bro. Like, you can even see that basically Goku here, right? I don't know why Gotenks is so out of focus and the main figure is in focus. There we go. Camera's being a little bit weird today. Sorry about that. Obviously, you can see that this guy is pretty small, all things considered. If he is basically just as small as this lad here, Goku almost comes up to his armor. Almost, not quite. And Gotenks is actually quite a lot bigger than him. That's the only thing that is like, dang, I wish this guy was bigger. Because, of course, you know, the OOZARU is known for being this huge, menacing form. So it's kind of funny seeing it reduced to this dinky little thing. Alright, so I do have two figures to compare this guy to today. There is one that I think is going to look really good next to him. The other one I'm not so sure just because he's so much bigger. So we're going to take a look at the first one first, which I think size-wise is probably a little bit better. This, of course, being the Bam Presto World Figure Coliseum Saiyan Armor Vegeta. And wow, these guys actually do look really cool together. Of course, it helps that they are closer to the same size, but the other really cool thing about this is that obviously this is from sort of around the same time in the battle, because you can see that both of their shoulder pads are broken, which is really, really cool. Obviously, this is before Vegeta transforms into a Great Ape because he still has the tail around his waist. But these guys look fantastic together. They look really nice. I think it helps that both of them are sculpted really well. And even though the Vegeta from the World Figure Coliseum is a lot more simplistic in design, it still does have some very nice battle damage that sort of complements the OOZARU one, even though the OOZARU one definitely has a lot more on it. But yeah, very cool little setup for sure. It would be interesting if you could get some kind of thing with the Great Ape, right? Like in front or behind Vegeta, something like that. I think that would definitely be a neat setup. Moving on, we do have one more figure that I would like to compare this guy to. Before I do, I would like to say, honestly, the perfect figure to compare this guy to, if I had him, and it would be kind of funny since he's so much bigger, is the giant Ichiban Kuji OOZARU Vegeta. Obviously, the big boy one that is, of course, the same type of figure as the big golden OOZARU figure that I do own. They would be perfect in a setup together in a cabinet. Even the SH Figuarts Great Ape Vegeta would also probably be a pretty cool comparison with this guy, which I actually do have that figure in storage. I have just never reviewed it, so let me know if you would like to see a video on that. But definitely the Ichiban Kuji one I would love to see. Moving on, though, we have, of course, I had to bring him out. You know I had to bring him out. It's a Great Ape Vegeta figure from the Saiyan Saga. How could I not? We, of course, have the Ichiban Kuji Saiyan Saga Vegeta. And wow, these guys look really sleek together. Obviously, the Ichiban Kuji Vegeta is a lot bigger than the OOZARU Vegeta. It's almost comical how much bigger than him he is. But nonetheless, these guys still look really, really cool together. You could definitely get some sick setups on the shelf with these guys for sure. Again, I kind of wish that the OOZARU was bigger than Vegeta in this case, but you could still do some cool stuff considering Vegeta is bigger. It's almost kind of like Vegeta is, you know, the shadows of the OOZARU in the distance. You could definitely put the OOZARU on a riser, though, like have him stand a little bit off the ground, and then it would definitely make him feel like he's a little bit bigger for sure. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to pick this figure up for yourself, of course, I will leave some links in the description where you can do so. I believe the last time I checked, he is a little bit hard to find nowadays because the re-release was such a fat minute ago. But if you are a Great Ape Vegeta fan or just a Vegeta fan in general, I highly recommend picking up this figure. This is a fantastic Great Ape figure and a great alternative as well if you do want a Great Ape figure that's not ridiculously overpriced, because obviously all of the other Great Ape figures on the market, even though they are really good, and I guess I wouldn't say overpriced, I think it's just that they're more expensive would be the right word to use, right? Because they're all such giant figures. This is definitely a good alternative for sure. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to support the channel and support me directly and more of my figure collecting endeavors, you can do so over on Patreon. The Patreon is exclusively dedicated for the figure unboxing content now. So if you'd like to support on there, please do. But, of course, please do not feel obligated. You watching these videos is literally why I make them. So I'm so happy that you guys enjoy the content on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, let me know what you think of the figure in the comment section below. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.